What is going on, you guys? Shadow X back with you for another Dokkan battle video. And we have some more information in regards to the upcoming Dokkan Fest Trunks and Goten that will be coming in the next couple of days here. Um, it looks like it is indeed going to be a BROLY celebration, and we know this because this Goten, oops, sorry, this Goten, Trunks, and 18, who are all from the BROLY movie, are going to be getting easy A's along with this Dokkan Fest, Goten and Trunks celebration, BROLY campaign, whatever you want to call it. So that is good because they do need easy A's. I would say at this point these are pretty much dead cards as they are now. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at what buffs they got. But the fact that this does confirm that they are not a Trunks and Goten from the Majin Buu saga is actually good because we don't need another fusing Trunks and Goten, which also confirms that they won't be fusing because they don't fuse in the movie. If you guys have not seen the movie, or maybe you have, you know, or maybe you don't know, but if you haven't seen the movie, they don't fuse in the movie, so which tells me they clearly aren't going to fuse at any given point during the card animation, right? So they probably will go Super Saiyan though, so keep that in mind. And they might have, maybe like a partner super attack with like a Krillin on rotation where they do the triple Kamehameha. I think that would really make sense. But, Trunks and Goten do need a better version in Dokkan, and I think having them as a Dokkan Fest, I think really works well for the two of them. I've said previously, they're not the most hypest character. They're definitely not everyone's like favorite, but for the most part, I do think they're units that should be well represented in Dokkan. So the fact that they're getting their own Dokkan Fest, I think is a good thing for the game overall. Despite regards if you think how you think of these two characters in general, right? So there's that. So let's go ahead and talk about these EZAs that we have for the 18 Trunks and Goten here. So let's start off with 18 because I think she's probably the best out of all of them. So we can take a look at previously what her stats were. So on Super Attack, it looks like she only stacked attack. So now she stacks defense as well for 6 turns. So that's really good there. Now her passive here, she gets attack and defense 100%. Previously, she just had 50% at start of turn, which is pretty ass. Then she also gets an additional attack 100% when performing a super attack, so that's nice. And then previously, it was literally just, attack defense 50% when HP is 50% or above. So obviously that's not very good. So the fact that she's getting an additional attack at 100% is pretty nice there. Again, if she's getting additional super attacks, that does stack, by the way, so keep that in mind. So she's going to be hitting pretty hard by like the third, maybe like, if you get an additional super attack or a hidden potential, right? She probably could potentially super attack 3 times, right? So keep that in mind. Then she also gives all allies 3 key attack defense 30%, which is incredible. Very solid support there. Then she also raises chance of performing a critical hit and reduces damage received by 18%. So that is only for herself. That does not include the rest of the rotation. So understand that. It's only for herself, which is good. When there's an ally whose name includes Trunks Kid or Goten Kid or Krillin on the team. So something like LR Trunks and Goten, who is going to be on a couple of her teams here, is going to activate that, that part of her passive. So keep that in mind. Shouldn't be too difficult to get that off if you're going to use this 18. You definitely going to keep, Trunks and Goten considerational options when using this 18. So remember that. So overall, I think she got massive buffs considering what she had previously. She's definitely usable, right? And I definitely think they gave her proper treatment in terms of things that she needed, right? She's going to be really solid, a support, giving attack and defense with key. I think that's going to be one of the biggest things that they included in her kit. On top of like, the additional attack and defense boosts that she gets, right? The stacking is nice for 6 turns. Overall, again, I really like what they did with her. Her links probably are going to be an issue though, so understand that. And then obviously she's on several categories, which is nice for her. But overall, I think she's a really solid unit. She's definitely runnable now, right? You can definitely get away with using her on different teams. She's not ass anymore. Definitely a really good, awakening and easy A for her, in my opinion. So let's talk about Trunks next, I believe. So, leader skill, still ass, don't worry about that. Super attack here, he now greatly raises attack and defense for 6 turns. Or, my bad, just regular raises attack and defense for 6 turns. What did he do previously? Okay, so just attack for 3 turns, so pretty good buff there. His passive here gets attack and defense 100%. Previously, it was 100% when performing a super attack. Oh my god, that's ass. He does a lot more now. So now he also gets an additional attack 100% when performing a super attack. Same thing with 18. All allies attack and defense 18%. Oh, my bad. Yeah, no, I read that right. Plus raises a chance of performing a critical hit and reduces damage received by 18%. Okay, so that's also inclusive to himself. When there is an ally whose name includes Goten attacking the same turn, or when there is a Krillin or Android 18 on the team. So the fact that it's also on the team rather than on the same turn makes it less restrictive and overall just more beneficial in terms of getting that part of the passive off. So that is nice that they did include that for these units, right? So this Trunks is pretty good with his upgrades. I don't think he's quite as good as 18, but overall I think he's solid, right? He does very similar things to the 18, so keep that in mind. Overall, he's not bad, but let's talk about the Goten next. Oh, let me point out his links here. So, Innocence, he's got okay links, and then obviously several categories along with the 18, right? So, I guess it is another thing with these, easy A's is, they are in several categories, so they're gonna have various uses where you can use them. So that is good for them. Alright, moving on to this Goten here. So, leader skill, again, ass. Not too big of a thing to worry about there. His super attack here, basically, he's going to be designed pretty similar to this Trunks, I believe. So, again, same thing, raising attack and defense for 6 turns, just like the Trunks. Passive here, attack and defense 100%, plus an additional attack 100% when performing a super attack. And also, all allies attack and defense 18%. So literally, we're just reading the same thing over again with the Trunks and the 18. Plus, raises chance of performing a critical hit and reduces damage received by 18% when there is an ally whose name includes Trunks, Krillin, or 18 on the team. So again, as you guys can see, all 3 of these units are pretty similar with the buffs that they got in terms of their EZA. I definitely think 18 is probably going to be the best out of all 3 of these. I'm not saying that Trunks and Goten are bad. I just don't think they're quite as good on paper, in my opinion. But, we'll have to see in-game what they look like. The funny thing about these 2 units, Trunks and Goten, they're actually just sitting at SSR in my box. I've never even touched them. And my account is 4.5 years old. So, I might have to blow the dust off these units. Get them, fully awoken, easy 8 and things like that. To see how good they look. But I just think it's kind of funny that, a unit as old as these units are, I've just never touched in my box until now, hopefully. So we'll see if I decide to actually, fully awaken these guys, EZA them. Of course I will, obviously, but it's just funny that I've never used them before. So, again, links are very similar, same thing with categories. Goten actually has the most categories, I believe, out of all 3 of these units, so that's interesting there. So that's basically all the info that we have. Obviously, it's confirmed that it's a BROLY celebration. Keep in mind that with the celebration, there isn't going to be a part 2 because Saiyan Day is literally on March 18th, if you aren't aware. So understand that, LR BROLY for part 2 is not going to be a thing. I don't think we're going to get BROLY for Saiyan Day. I mean, we could. It would make sense, following the celebration, but in terms of hype, I don't know if a BROLY is what you'd want to go with for a big time celebration, but keep in mind, PyCon got a Dokkan Fest, so understand that, they really could just throw out a BROLY for Saiyan Day. And, I'm not gonna, argue that it would make sense in regards to the celebration, right? having all of the build up lead to BioBroly. You know, and understand that, you know, they could do a transforming BioBroly, because he does start off as just regular, you know, Broly in the movie, right? And then he kind of gets all that slime on him, and that's what causes him to turn into BioBroly, right? So I don't know, you know, it's really in the air as to what's gonna happen with BioBroly. You know, we only have that, you know, that I actually um, closed out the tab where I had him pulled up, but we only have the free to play tech this version. Um, you know, that needs an Easy 8 and Awakening, right? He's pretty ass. He's pretty mid. We need a new version of this guy, right? So anything's in the air at this point. I'd say BioBroly could be coming. He probably isn't. But you know, we'll see. So with that, that's gonna do it for the updated information that we have in regards to this upcoming celebration. Let me know how hyped you guys are for a BioBroly celebration. Movies seems to be what they're going for these upcoming celebrations, which in conclusion leads me to believe that Saiyan Day will probably be a movie-based themed celebration. So something like Blue Gogeta and Full Power Broly really could make sense. So keep that in the back of your minds. Again, let me know if you guys are going to be summoning for this Trunks and Goten Dokkan Fest. How excited are you guys for this? I don't think the movie, honestly, is one of my favorite movies. It's a pretty ass movie, if I'm going to be completely honest. So, just from that standpoint, I think the level of hype here isn't very high for me. We'll see what these units end up looking like. I'm sure Trunks and Goten are going to be busted, broken beyond belief, as they should be. But you know, we'll have to see, right? Again, I don't think they're not going to fuse, nothing like that. But they could go Super Saiyan. They probably will, and they might have a unit super attack with like a Krillin, right? So that physical Krillin, the free to play one that you get from the story event, could also awaken during the celebration. I do think I expect to see that at least, but we will see. So let me actually just pull him up real quick, just so you guys know what I'm talking about here. So here we go. Let me pull him up here. This guy, if you aren't aware, is who I'm talking about. I expect this guy to awaken at least, and maybe he could also get an Easy A because he needs one badly, right? And maybe if you have this guy on the team, you know, you could use a unit super attack with the Trunks and Goten. I think that would make a lot of sense for the celebration. So with that, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know how excited you guys are for this Bio Broly celebration. And until next time, your boys clocking out. That's gonna do it for this one. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys on the next one.